always good review because I still have people getting mixed up, handle it, confused on this. By the way, unlike whole numbers, multiplying and dividing fractions is much simpler than adding and subtracting. What, ladies and gentlemen, are the very simple rules for multiplying fractions? What are the very simple rules for multiplying fractions? Doesn't get any simpler or more simple or whatever the word would be than that. Demetra? Exactly. You just multiply across. So for this case here, you would just multiply the 1 times the 1. You get 1. You multiply the 3 times the 2. You get 6. Wow. Tough one today. How's about dividing fractions? Dividing fractions is just one small step more difficult, but yet shouldn't be that difficult there. Alex Vollmer?
You can't divide it like that. It has to be 1/3 times 2 ones.
Yeah, I'm asking for the step to do it. I agree. You need to change it to what and then do what?
You need to change it, the second fraction to its reciprocal.
Very good. Reciprocal is a big word we use here. I just like to say when we're just writing it down, you flip the second fraction, make sure it's the second one, and then multiply. Okay, so you end up with 1/3 times 2 over 1. This is the one that gets flipped over. Then you just multiply across. 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 1 is 3, and you end up with 2/3. Now, unless you think that we're completely finished with this, we just have to throw one more little monkey wrench into the whole operation here. This is all fine and good when you have fractions, but what about when they're mixed numbers? What about 2 and 1/3 times 1 and 1/2? Or what about, do I have room? I do. What about 2 and 1/3 divided by 1 and 1/2? What happens with mixed numbers in both cases, Kayla Pavia?
You convert like the whole numbers into fractions.
What do we call that?
Make them improper.
There you go. For mixed numbers must be made improper. As bad as improper sounds, it does have a place in math. So if you're looking at that in this case here, 2 and 1/3, 2 times 3 plus 1, you get 7/3 times 1 times 2 plus 1, 3/2. And I don't know if you're at the point in your life where you cross cancels. Do any of you cross cancel? Like reduce before you multiply? Does anybody have a question on this before I go on? 2 times 3 plus 1 is 7 over 3. 1 times 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. I won't cross cancel just now because we'll get to that later, I suppose. Multiply across, you get 21 over 6. Unfortunately, in your lives, you can't leave it as improper. You need to both reduce and make to a mixed number. 6 goes into 21, 3 times with 3 left over. 3 and 3, 6 is the same as 3 and 1/2. What's that? Same thing for the bottom one here, you need to make them improper. It still is going to be 7/3 divided by 3/2, but you must now flip the second one in order to multiply it. So it's 7/3 times 2/3, in which you end up with 14 over 9, which is 1 and 5/9 for the division part. I think we did plenty of this in math, but I have a couple here. How about this one? write down this problem. How many 1/8 are in 1/4? If you're like me, just looking at that problem, I don't know what to do. Actually, I do know what to do. Okay, anytime you're asking how many somethings are in another something, I know that it's division. How many 4s are in 8, how many 6s or whatever. But the problem I don't know is it 1/8 divided by 1/4 or 1/4 divided by 1/8, because you're going to get two different answers. It's not like multiplication where you can flip those around. So in these dire situations and circumstances, I've told you many times, what would be a good idea to do? How many 1/8 are in 1/4? Well, at least I've got 5 or 6 people. Sam Popham.
It's 1/4 divided by 1/8.
The question I asked was, in these dire situations, what would I do to give me which one is divided by which one? I'm looking for the thing that'll tell me the process, which one I would put divided by which one. Because really the thing that's throwing me off is this whole fraction business. These fractions just kind of confused and befuddled too. Emma Kunacek? In order to figure out which one is dividing into the other one, change these into real numbers, like whole numbers that you can put your mind around. For example, I'm going to do two different things. I'm going to say, because I know 5 goes into 10, I'm going to use 5 and 10. How many 5s are in 10? Or would it make sense to say how many 10s are in 5? Which one makes more sense? 5s and 10s or 10s and 5? How many 5s are there in 10 or how many 10s are there in 5? Holly says? Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this because that's the one that makes sense to me. And then I say, okay, how many 5s are in 10? In order to do that problem, how do I write that? 10 divided by 5. Which one of these two, when I do my division, should come first? Well, the one that was by the 10 when I substituted in my 10. Because it was 10 divided by 5, it is 1/4, and I don't know if this is what Sam said, divided by 1/8. Okay? And then you just flip and multiply. It's 1/4 times 8 over 1. You end up with 2. But that's what I do. I change it to a number that makes sense. I put it kind of so it'll make sense and I can find the answer. And then I see, well, which one would I put first, this one or that one? Okay. By the way, what would be the answer if I asked you how many 10s are in 5? No. That's how many 5s are in 10. How many 10s are in 5? A half of one. But that's why you kind of flip it around so that it works. You pick the two and you say, well, which one makes sense? Do I do 10s divided? How many 10s are in 5 or 5s are in 10? Sam, is that what you said? Let's see if I can find something else. How about this one? How many 2/3 are in 1? How many 2/3 are in 1? In other words, you have a pizza and you're cutting it into 2/3. How many 2/3 are you going to get in that one pizza? By the way, it's in the same order as that last one. So if you wrote this example down, you'd always know, you always put the second one first in this when it's written this way. How many 2/3 are in 1? 1 divided by 2/3. How many 2/3 can you take out of a 1? Logistically speaking, Lauren says. It's going to be a fraction, probably. Flip and multiply by that one. Ava? Yeah. Flip and multiply, it's 3/2 times 1, which is 3/2. And 3/2 is, in fact, 1 million.